Hello, beautiful people and fellow winers, and welcome to another episode of A Little Something to Wine About with your host, Siobhan Camille,
And Tae Michelle.
where we wine while we wine, WINE, about life, love, relationships, culture, and more, because sometimes you just need to wine a little. We are in second Wednesday. Wednesday. So sis, let's wine. Okay, let's wine. During this Black History Month, if you needed an excuse to celebrate Black people, this is the time. Otherwise, we Black all year, so hey. But it's second Wednesday, so sis, let's wine. And today we're gonna wine about what it means to be a mother, a real one, an active one. This may hurt some people's feelings. I just want to put that out there right now because we got things to say, ladies. Let's get the glasses ready, sis, because we gonna wine today. And whether this is your first time or you are a regular whiner, grab a glass of your favorite red, whites, Moscato, rosé, sparkling cider, water. If you are not, you don't have to pop grapes with us. We pop grapes, but you don't have to pop grapes. You can pop H2O. It's fine. So get whatever you need to feel special and lovely and join us on the couch.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to this on audio, please be advised. You may want to push pause on the audio, jump over to the YouTube, prop this thing up on whatever mount that you have in your vehicle and watch this. And don't forget,
if you're in a vehicle, maybe you shouldn't be watching.
You might even want to pull over.
Well, please do that for safety and legalities.
If you're not drinking and you're just listening, you might want to pull over to the side. Trigger my warning. Okay. Because sis, y'all not gonna like me.
It's been a long time coming, guys. We've said for a while that we were going to touch
for a long time, and I'm gonna be honest, it's not gonna be too much that you can tell me because I have been on all sides of this here coin, and I live it day to day. So before we get knee deep in this here glass, Siobhan, let us know. In honor of Black History Month, we have decided to choose wines that are endorsed or made by Black people, African Americans. So sticking to that, Siobhan, let us know. Introduce us to the wine of your choice for this grand month of February.
So, y'all, first of all, I just want to say shout out to all the Black vintners and winemakers out there. I know Black August, we shouted y'all out last year on Instagram. If you needed that list, y'all go to @a_little_something, 2 wine about, and you will see it. But right now we decided, we did January, we did Stella Rosa. So February, we're just gonna highlight a lot of the Black wines that are out there. We didn't pick one brand. There's so many. We want y'all to know just a few, because we only doing like 3 episodes really this month outside of the wine out. Yeah, it's short. So we are doing that. So you're gonna get six brands, hopefully. Like that's what we can do for you. I've gone with Longevity is what I'm starting with. It's a 2018 Chardonnay by Longevity. They are based out of California. They were started by Phil Long and his wife, who is now deceased. Rest in peace to her. He is the president of the Association of African American Vintners. So, hey, sir. And they started this company in 2008, aka 2008. So, it's been around for a while. I went with the Chardonnay because y'all know I don't care for the reds. So here's where we are today.
Good job. Good research. I ain't do all that. Well, no, I didn't do research on like this particular wine. I did more research on just African Americans and wine association in general. And as we know, it's a lot of things that we are just now starting to venture into as African Americans and taking up on those other opportunities. So starting a wine company, investing in a winery, or putting a famous name to a wine brand or any alcohol brand is something that we have really just started to really pick up on. Like you would see it in the past here or there, but now it's becoming more frequent than not. So I have decided to try Sun Goddess. It's a Pinot Grigio, and this is actually Mary J. Blige's wine. I've been reading reviews on it, and apparently from a lot of the, what are they called?
Sommeliers.
I'm learning. From a lot of the experts, sommeliers, they are saying that this is a great Pinot Grigio. Like, so I'm always here for a good Pinot Grigio. So I said, hey, all right, Mary, I'm gonna give you a try. Okay, let's see what you know. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, that's what I chose, you know, especially because let's wine, you know, Murray all about sisterhood, you know. She give us the heartbreak, she give us the cheesy happy songs, you know.
That hateration in this dancery.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, everybody be doing their little Murray dance and with her non-dance. So we love her though. We love her. So
No More Drama was an iconic song.
Look.
Iconic.
Look, I feel like everybody heard her and felt her and she felt a part of everybody else. But she said, no more, no more, no. I was like,
the church had everything. That song starts so serious.
Yes.
Broken heart again, another lesson learned. Better know your friends. Look. Or else you will get burned. Let me tell you, she was preaching in that song. Anyway, but yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's who I got, you know. All right, Mary, we love you, boo. Hopefully friend of the pod at some point. Love you. But sis, fellow winers, as you know, I am married of 7 years and my family is fully blended. I have 1 biological son and 5 lovely stepchildren, bonus babies, pieces of my heart. And each of them have mothers. 3 of them have the same. The other 2 have different mothers. It's 5 of them total. So, how do I want to say this? Co-parenting is a strong phrase. Co-parenting is not an easy task. Simply because you're dealing with different personalities, simply because you may be dealing with different types of hurt. And that's from both sides, male and female, because males get hurt too. So, and their prides and egos and all of that can trickle over into, just like the mamas can trickle over into the child and how it affects them. We all know this. So, which is why we say co-parenting it's an invention. I am also what they call a baby mama. And my biological son has a stepmother. So when I say I know all sides of this here coin, I know all sides. One thing for sure, 2 things for certain. At least for me and anyone that most people that I know, no one can replace their mother. Period. That's your, whether good, bad, indifferent, no matter what, that's your mom. Some people don't have that same connection as far as their father does, as far as when they talk about their dads. I do, but some people don't, and I understand that. But nobody can replace your parents. Period. Your connection, and this is me speaking, is different. And as a mother and a stepmother and a person whose child has a stepmother in their family, I understand that. And I think that's number one in co-parenting, and acting and coming into being a blended family. You have to recognize. So that's why I'm going to say that first. Nobody. But in being understanding that I only have one, no, I don't only have one thing. My biggest thing is, if you are going to be the mother, be the mother. Simple as that. I'll be honest, if you take that any way you want to take it, there's a positive to that, there's a negative to that. Do I understand situations and circumstances? Absolutely. I absolutely do. Do I understand that some moms may go through something where it's best for the children to stay with a grandparent, to stay with their father, to stay with an uncle, to stay with someone else while they get themselves together? I absolutely understand it. I have seen it. I have lived it. But she just ain't got herself together. She hasn't. So with that, I need you to also understand that if there is another person that has willingly opened themselves up, their hearts up, their homes up, their financial income, they have opened their pocketbooks, their wallets, you need to respect that. And not in the aspect of respect it because you owe them something. No, respect it because there are a lot of people who won't. Respect it because a lot of times they do it out of love for the child, or knowing what a child needs. Outside of my oldest and my youngest, well, it's outside of the oldest. She lives in another state, as you guys know. So my husband and I are, quote unquote, the part-time parents because she doesn't live in the state. Like, that was that. Our baby boy is in between both homes, primarily living with the mom. But my husband and I are there for any and everything, parent-teacher conferences, sicknesses, like you need us to take to the doctor. We co-parent, and that's the one relationship I will say I freaking love. To me, that relationship, and this is still ongoing, is showing me what co-parenting should really be. Are there disagreements? Absolutely. Do we all disagree? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do we all agree all the time? No. Does one person have to play mediator in some situations? Yes. Yes. But if everybody, with all of us having the main goal of the child, it works out. And as long as, when you're co-parenting, and this is why I'm circling back to this, that should be the main goal. What is going to be best for this child, despite my ego, despite my feelings? What is going to be best for this child? What is the right thing to do? And that is the one thing that a mother should always be asking herself, or for most of us good ones, we are always asking ourselves, what is the right thing to do? Am I doing this right? And if you're not, look, you pray about it, you keep on going. God will tell you what's right, what's wrong. He'll reveal to you what you need to be revealed. But you have to be there. If you're not there and someone else is, take a back seat with a smile and encourage the ones who are doing what you're supposed to be doing, period. Stop trying to discredit them. Stop trying to be a hurdle or an obstacle in raising the children. Because what you're doing ultimately is creating trauma. You know that word y'all like throwing around. Creating trauma for your kids. If yes, you ultimately have the claim, that's my baby, that's my child, I birthed that. Right. Yeah. You did the quote unquote easy part. Now raise them. And if you can't, step to the side so that someone else can. Because that's what a good mother does. Baby, I can't do this. That's why I can understand the people who give their children up for adoption, because they know I can't do this. I have more respect for you for doing that. And I know that's painful as all outdoors to give up something like that. So I can respect that. And for you to know, I couldn't do that. I wasn't there. I didn't know anything. I would rather you be hurt for me not being there and you have everything that you need in life, because that's putting the child first, than me struggling and showing you the struggle and you experiencing all this other trauma. And God knows what other doors have opened because I wasn't brave enough to say, this may be the best thing for you. I might not be the best. And that's okay too. But recognize that. And there's no shame in recognizing that. And I think that's what a lot of this stems from. When you have the mother who is not on her feet, who is taking medication, who is diagnosed with medical issues, who has record of any types of substance abuse. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the nice. I'm trying to contain.
Yeah, we had a prelude to this last night. We had an impromptu, or 2 nights ago, we had an impromptu conversation about this when we were deciding what to whine about for this Sis Let's Whine. And this is where we came.
And I've gotten to the point where I'm not angry anymore. I'm tired. I'm fed up because, and I have been talking a lot. Siobhan has said absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. I'm tired because what often happens, and it's not just my story, I've heard this. Not only have I heard this, I lived this as a child. I have biologically 8 siblings. 4 of us have, there's 4 of us, the last 2 had the same mama, and me and my sister got the same mama. Everybody else got a different mama. As close, the last 4 of us were raised like this, which means both mamas was around. Both mamas, completely different aspects of the spectrum of the word mama. So I have seen, me being the oldest out of those 4, I remember most conversations, arguments, lies being told, fights. I remember this. So again, not new to this. I'm true to this. I have what anyone would consider, if we had a week at least to tell you, I had a week at least to tell you the stories of what I seen as a child. And part of the reason that I am the way that I am is because of my mother. I watched my mother raise me, my sister, and 2 other children that she didn't birth. Never treated them a pinch of different. But there was no difference. You would have thought they came out of her uterus. The love was the same. The care was the same. The discipline was the same. Whatever we got, they got. Hands down. So watching my mother, I learned, not knowing that I was going to be in a similar situation, cycles, to show you, how things play out. So I have a great example. I have a great person to go to and say, Mom, let me tell you what I'm feeling. Mom, let me tell you what's going on. Let me tell you this. And because you want to do this in a healthy manner, having that good counsel is special. It holds is special and near and dear to my heart, because a lot of people don't have that, which is why we have the chaotic situations that we have. Which is why we have the mamas who are insecure about another woman being around their children. Sis, let me tell you this. If another woman has decided to be with your baby daddy, your child's father, or X, Y, and Z, yes, it's your job to protect your children. It's your job to get to know that woman. Not to be angry, not to be bitter, not to cause confusion, not to be none. Get over your ego, over your pride, all of that. That's not your job. Your only job is to see what this woman is about, and not in a interrogating manner, but to see what this woman is about and let her prove herself in a way of in a way that only time would tell who this person truly is. Especially if they're going to be around your kids, because they do take traits from their environment. And if she's going to be there, that is a trait that they have a possibility of picking up. I know my hip, I promise you, is going to be just as bougie as I am. And I didn't birth it. But she is a partial product of her environment. Period. So, sis, I need us to get out of our own way. I need us to step to the side. I need us to recognize a good woman and not be ashamed to say, no, that woman is good. Give that woman her props. She not doing it for props, but give it to her. And the props can simply be respect, period. Absolute period. You ain't saying you got to kiss nobody. I'm not saying you got to kiss nobody, but you got to praise them up and down. First of all, we're not going to idolize them. Let's be serious. However, if I send my child over their father's house, let's say me, if I send my son to his dad, I know for a fact his wife is not going to let anything happen to him. And that's because even though we're not best friends, we formed some type of relationship where we can at least communicate. Hey, Malachi did X, Y, and Z. I just wanted to let you know, or hey, I noticed this. Do we talk every day? No. When we see each other, we can laugh, we can joke, keep going. Like, it's no hard feelings. One reason, baby, I didn't want to. And that's the other part. If you don't want your baby daddy, why are you giving him hell? If your baby daddy broke your heart, I'm sorry. Let me apologize for all the baby daddies out there. I'm sorry he broke your heart. Okay? but you cannot take that out on the woman that he's choosing to be with. Like, what sense does that make? Would you don't want a woman to take nothing out on you that you ain't did. So why would you do that to somebody else? Because, okay, no, because that was about to get real personal. I'm gonna let you speak because I'm about to bust some real personal facts out, and somebody gonna be like, I'm suing you for defamation, but I'm not lying. I only speak the truth about this. Okay, I'm just saying, ladies, let's get it together. Respect costs nothing, but it can. Respect costs nothing to give, but it can cost you everything in the end. And I'm going to sip my first piece of wine. Go ahead, Siobhan.
Okay, so I guess this is my half. I am. All right, let's do this. I did not come up blended. I came up very, very nuclear. So nuclear that there is just moi, me, one, uno. When you do it right the first time, you don't need to do it again. Okay? So, whatever. I am the oldest, the youngest, and the middle child, and it's a great, glorious place to be. Having said that, my relationship with my mother is solid. So I know what a mother's supposed to look like. I'm also gonna say there's so much while you was talking that I want to say. So I'm gonna try to concise. Number one, being a mother is more than biological. That's first things first. And I don't have any biological children. I do not. But let me tell you, I've been a mother to many. I am an awesome godmother. I'm everybody's choice of a godmother. Why? Because I'm that chick. If anything happens to the parent, they know that if I'm godmother and they can't come with me, they gonna leave my house smart and strong and able to stand. Boy or girl, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And this is something that my friends have known about me since I was so young that my son's, okay, I have a godson. I have a bunch. I think I have like 7 god kids at this point. God, when I tell you that I am the madrina that everybody runs to, that's what I mean. I have 7, I believe, godchildren. I'm not about to sit here and count them. My oldest, my Puda, as I call him, who is now like about to be a teenager. Like, when did this happen? His mother and I have been friends since 2nd grade. I am such that person that in middle school, because she's a year older than me. So I was in 7th grade, she was in 8th grade, and she was like, when I get older, I have kids, you gonna be that godmother? That's the family I come from. That's who I am. That's who I've been. Is because she saw me with her nieces and nephews, even as an only child. And I still, being a mother either is in you or it's not, period. And here's why I say that. Because being a mother, and this is why it is about sacrifice. It's about putting someone else before you. It's about raising someone. It's about instilling values and a moral code and a sense of accountability and responsibility in someone else. You really can't do that if you don't have any of those things, number one. Number two, that's what it is. So to be a mother is more than just to give birth. And if you don't believe me, look at the foster mothers. I'm not talking the trash ones that you see on all the TV shows and sitcoms. I'm talking about the fosters that actually do stuff. Look at the step parents, the stepmothers, let's talk these moms. Look at the adoptive mothers, okay? Look at the godmothers who step in and do more than sometimes these mothers or these fathers, depending. All right? Being a parent, period, is about those 5 characteristics: instilling values, morals, a sense of accountability, a sense of responsibility, and sacrifice. That's what it is. That's it. You don't have to give birth to be a parent. You don't have to birth a child, push anything out of your sac if you're a guy, or your uterus if you're a woman, to be a parent. You do not. You don't. I know that on a definition of legalities, that unless you, again, sign papers that declare you a parent, that yes, that biology is the easiest way to be considered a parent, but it's more than that. And yes, as I said last year, Michelle said again, birthing a child is the easy part in the grand scheme of life, because that is one moment. Even if it lasts 3 days, guess what? But this child's life is 18 years or more. But I'm assuming that you raised them in 18. Like, if you still raising a 30-year-old, honey, I don't know what to say.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. And the only reason why I say, real quick, I'm gonna let you continue. The only reason why I say, because my mother is still parenting me. It's just a different type of parenting.
But so, that's why I didn't say parenting. I said raising.
Yeah, like it is. Yeah.
That's why raising is a specific. Yeah, is where I'm at. And I say this again to the point of my Puda, who I've always just called my son, is I was 20, I want to say, when he was born. And quite frankly, and I'm not trying to put everybody's business in there, I should have been godmother in high school. Still. Because the first call I got for, you ready to be a godmother, was when I was 15 years old. And I was like, oh boy, I mean, this gonna be rough, but I'm with you. I signed on in middle school that if you had, whenever kid came, and I know who you are. So whenever kid came, high school or after, I had you. Now I don't know what that was gonna do, but it'd have been, I'm a 15-year-old godmother and I got that and whatever. And it can be done because my goddaughters that's how it was with her. She had her kid in high school and her kid's godmother was her best friend. So they were both in high school. You make it happen if you're going to sign on to be there. To the point, my Puda was with me every weekend for a year. I take being a godmother seriously. I still raised this kid. He knew Mimi. Oh, Mimi was in there. Mimi had him. Picked him up from school. He slept in my bed because I was living with my mom. I mean, I was like just got out of college, I think at that time. Was in my bed, we chilling, disciplined him. This is my son. And to this day, I still look at him that way. I still call him that because I took that on. That still was sacrifice. And I remember doing it because I remember my mother saying to me, are you sure you want to take this on when you because I moved back home, stuff was happening, but I moved back home. And you sure you want to take this? And you going to do this every weekend? And you're only 22, I think I was, 23. You don't have any children. Are you sure? I'm like, first of all, I ain't really one for the streets. Like, you can keep the streets. I'm good being at home with my godson watching whatever we were watching Nightmare Before Christmas. I got him watching Nightmare Before Christmas, so props to me. And watching Nightmare Before Christmas, getting up the next morning and watching Dora on Univision. This is my son. I'm gonna raise him like, if I call you my godson, all I hear is son. God, the God part is a formality. But
tell him, you better tell him.
But you're my son. Period. You're my son. When you're with me, that's what it is. Car seat, I bought it. I literally just got rid of the car seat I bought him like last year. Again, been there in my mom's house in the basement for like 12 years. Car seat, bought it. Clothes, bought it. This, bought it. I mean, he's with me on weekends. Why? Because his father ain't crap. And for anybody who's like, oh no, I'm not bashing anybody. This is a fact statement of a story that I'm just going to say real quick. I got my son. I picked him up. She called me and was like, hey, can you take him to his father's? I said, cool, because his father was 15 minutes from me. I dropped that boy off. Within the course of an hour, I get a call, hey, he want to go out. He want to go do something. Can you go pick Pooh back up? I will go get my child. That's not a problem. I went and got my child. And his grandmother, the dude's mother, brought me my child, my 2-year-old. And when I got in the car, I called my baby mama, as I call her, and I said, don't ever ask me to bring him over to this house again, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to waste my time. My son was good with me. I don't know who he was trying to impress, what he was trying to do, floss and look at me. Again, because some dudes do that. I'm a father. I don't have time for that. Mother or father.
The mamas do it too.
Because mamas do it too.
We talk about y'all mothers who don't see their kids all week long. Don't help with a homework assignment, a dentist appointment, a hair appointment. Don't help with a brushing of a tooth, taking to the doctor, a shot, a signed conference. No, nothing. We're talking about y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm saying that as the example because it was the father, but there are mothers that do the exact same thing. You try to floss when, let's say, you get a new boyfriend and you told him you have kids, and after 2 weeks, he ain't never seen not a child. And now it's, well, look at all my kids are with me. No, they're not. The kids are with their father or with their grandmother or with their aunt or with their godmother or with somebody else. Being a mother is more. And I put a lot of the fault on this on, yes, the woman, most definitely, but society, because let me tell you what society does. Society tells birth mothers that they don't have to earn the right to be considered a mother and get the love from a child that should be earned, period. I'm gonna call that out right now, because you have schools that are like, it's Mother's Day coming, let's make a card for your mother. But what if he ain't seen his mama in 6 months? This little girl hasn't seen her mother in 2 years. And she been with her father this whole time. And the stuff I'm speaking on, while people may be like, oh, that sounds crazy, that's far-fetched, it's not, because I have men in mind while I'm saying this. Specific men in mind when I say this.
And we're not necessarily talking about our men. I'm talking about other guys.
Yeah, I'm not talking about mine. Okay.
No, I'm just saying that as a general statement so people understand, oh, that's their life. No. I have friends, previous guys that I've dated who have gone through what she's saying. And it's because the moms were, trash.
There are a lot of deadbeat mothers who walk out on their kids. My two got, again, I got 7, y'all. I got 7, okay? My goddaughter, my oldest goddaughter and her brother, who are literally a year apart, their mamas ran. She birthed my goddaughter, gave her to the father, who is how I know, because me and the father, we were real close. And she took off after like 2 months, came back long enough to get pregnant again by him. And I told him he was stupid for doing that. But anyway, have another one, because now, again, Nena and DJ are Irish twins, if you will, as they're called, because they're so close, and took off again.
I got 2, Jayla and Robbie.
And took off again. And I was like, my guy, what were you thinking? But this is about the mother. And so to the mother, she just walked out. And this is the thing about her. She had so many kids in the system, I think like 9, that both of my godchildren were born with a social worker because of her. Because of who their mother was. Her name rang, bells were a ringing. So let's not act like these things do not happen. I know a bunch of dudes who are raising their kids because mamas took off, just ran, walked out. I don't want to do it.
Mamas are incapable. They don't have a house to stay in. They're staying in shelters.
And I don't have an issue with that if you're really trying to do better. But that's my thing. This is about the child. So my first point is what a mother is. It are those 5 characteristics. And a lot of people aren't doing that, whether you're blended or not, because being a mother has nothing to do with whether step, foster, biological, adopt. It doesn't matter. If you are a woman and you are doing any of these 5 things, you are a mother. I am a mother, though I am not a mother. Yes, y'all know what I'm saying. I've been one for a long time, guys. For a long time, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired and I get annoyed that I've been raising kids that aren't mine, but that's a whine for another time, guys. That's a trigger on my end. That's number 1. Number 2, again, I put a lot of this on society because society tells kids, love your mother no matter what. Biology already gonna do that. That's what Michelle was talking about earlier, where there is a connection, generally speaking, that children have with their mothers because you were literally in your mama for 9 months. You didn't have that connection per se with your father. You may have heard his voice, but it's a whole different thing when you have taken up residence inside the body of somebody else. I will forever have nothing but love and respect for my mother because you carried me, man. Like there's a bond that happens from birth, and then with breastfeeding and everything else, it's scientifically proven that these are where bonds are born and fostered and nurtured and all of that. However, as the child gets older and they remove themselves from your breast as they get older, You still.
All I think of is that movie. I think it's a Madea movie where he was like, "Pop yo titty." It wasn't Madea. It was somebody else. Out his mouth.
But once you get past that point of this child being dependent on you, you still have to me, you have to earn that love. And I don't feel like society really pushes that for mothers. I feel like society in a lot of ways says, oh my God, you're a mom. Let's talk about how great we are as moms. We're moms, we're moms, we're moms. Because you birthed something and you birthed someone. Yes, you birthed someone, but are you a mother? Are you instilling values in them? Are you teaching them morals? Are you teaching them accountability? Are you teaching them responsibility? Are you actually raising them? Are you like it? All that we're my mom's club is cool and cute, but are you actually a mother? Which brings me to my third point. It's not about you. Once you become a mom, all these mom clubs, that's cute. Guess what? It's about the kids though. If your whole claim to fame is screaming, I'm a mom around other moms so that you can be like, basically, I carried a child, I carried a fetus to full term and gave birth to it. I carried a fetus to full term and gave birth to it. I did too. If y'all aren't raising these kids, then it doesn't matter. Let me tell y'all gonna be, somebody gonna hate me for this. Somebody gonna hate me for this, and y'all can. If that's your only claim to fame, you are not a mother, sweetheart. You are a breeder. Period. Sorry, not sorry. That's what it is. Because guess what? Many an animal, mammal, and everything else can give birth. And even animals raise their children, generally speaking. You have some animals that straight up kill the weak. I mean, like, the animal kingdom is weird. There's a lot of stuff happening here. But it's raw. But you're not a mother to me. I don't have respect for you as a mother. And to my personal, since a lot of Michelle was on general, but it was some personal stuff. To my personal, let me say this from my experience right now with these 3 boys in my house. I do more for these kids than their own mother does. But she always constantly wants to yell, whine, and scream, I'm mama, but I'm mama, but I'm mama. No, sweetie, because the number one thing of a mother, in addition to the values, the morals, responsibility, and accountability that you instill in this child, is sacrifice. You don't sacrifice for your kids. You do not. I have sacrificed for the children. As Michelle said, financially, emotionally, time, everything else. You not sacrificing for your children, no. And you haven't been accountable or responsible in your life. If you're not accountable and responsible in your own life, sis, you can't instill that in somebody else. Those 2 things, you can't call yourself a mother. If you're not sacrificing for your children, you are not a mother. If you are not putting values and morals and teaching them values and morals, you are not a mother. If all you did was carry them to term and give birth to them, you are a breeder, sweetie. And I say this even more to the women who are around their kids, involved in their lives, but you're not giving them anything. You're not giving this child anything. You're just there. And what you're doing is you're there to take love from this child. You're not even giving love. It's not about you. You're still saying, oh, I have my kids. My kids will love me. My kids will love. And that's what it is. My kids, will love me. My and me are the 2 big things in that sentence. Means you think it's about you, and it's not. What is it that you can put in these children so that they grow up and are better than you? You should not be doing that. That brings me to 4. My other issue is, again, to piggyback with related to 3, it's not about you. It's not about you. So all of these women out here doing all of this stuff, sis, having all these babies, no. And this is, again, 4 brings me back to 2, because again, why I blame society for a lot of these quote unquote mothers, these non-mothers, these breed mothers, is who are egotistical and selfish and narcissistic, is because society encourages that foolishness by telling them, oh girl, if you have a baby, you can get a car. If you have a baby, you can get an apartment. If you have a baby, you can get this. If you have a baby, he'll have to work. And not have to work. If you have a baby, he'll have to deal with you, even if he don't want to talk to you, because he gonna want to talk to them kids. You weaponize children. It's a lot of what society does. It weaponizes children for that women can take advantage of the fathers, and
under the false pretenses of we just want to keep the family together.
And it also instills that narcissistic, it's about you through the kid. If you have this kid, you can have this. And let me tell you that I understand. Let me 100% say, sis, I get it. I didn't do it because I still think it's stupid, because you still, as a mother, I am a true mother. So I realize my true maternal instinct says I'm still gonna have to put this kid before me. So I can't do that. But I have been a single child free woman my entire life. And let me tell you what, every tax season, I'm like, can somebody let me just claim a kid, please, please, please. I got nieces, nephews, I got kids. Please, somebody. Please, somebody. I was irate daggone near last year because I spent last year raising 3 kids to find out that this chick claimed 2 out of 3 on taxes when they live with their father. And she, again, you're not sacrificing, you're not being a mother, but you want to be a mother when tax time comes. Now you want to be a mother on paper because of the money. And again, I'm not saying that I don't understand it, but no, because it's still about the kid. That, again, you're not a mother. You're not a real mother. I'm gonna call it that. You're not a real mother. I don't call you a real mother. I don't. And again, society encourages that stuff. And I say this as a woman where I'm like, well, can I get this? Oh no, that's for, do you have any kids? Well, no. Oh, then that program isn't for you. I'm broke. Your program, when I saw it, said that it was for people who make X amount or under and are struggling. I make X amount and under and I'm struggling. Well, yeah, but the asterisk next to it, you have to have a child. Whoa. So I have to be struggling and then bring a child into my struggle for you to help me out. When I'm not asking for a hand out, I'm just asking for, like, just give me a helping hand, man. So I get it. But again, I hold for that portion piece of it, I hold society responsible, because that's what you're teaching girls. That's what you teach women when they look around and they see, well, this deadbeat mother, because let's be serious, most of us know deadbeat mothers. This deadbeat mother has a nice apartment in a decent neighborhood, a new car, just went on a cruise, and I'm speaking of somebody that I'm thinking of, just went on a cruise. Don't have any kids. I can barely afford to drive down the street to Richmond. This chick is on a cruise in the Bahamas and the Caribbean with 2 kids that she barely takes care of. Like, clothes barely fit any of this stuff. What's happening? Because that's what you do. Because that's what society does. Is tell you to have a child so that they can take care of you. Tell you to have a child so that you can get what you need to get. So that you can get what you want to get. But it's not about you. And stop doing that, because all you're doing is raising damaged, I'm not going to say traumatized, damaged human beings who become adults that are also damaged human beings and continue this whole thing. So if you have a woman who has her stuff together and is not traumatized nor damaged, who has decided to lend a helping, influential hand and be a mother, maternal figure to your child so that they are better off in life, miss me with the attitude, miss me with the drama, sis, miss me with the whole, I mean, I don't want, again, if you claim you don't want your baby father, then mean that, sit in that. If you gonna tell me it's all I care about is my kids, then all you should really care about is your kids, not taking a cruise, not the Section 8, not this, that, and the third. I'm not saying for people who don't need assistance because you really found yourselves on hard times. I understand that. But if you've got 4 kids on Section 8, something ain't right.
You know what's not right? If you have 6 children, live in a Section 8 apartment, 3 of your children don't stay with you part-time. Excuse me, well, half of your children don't stay with you. And then another part of the 3, excuse me, let me take that back. You have 6 children, 4 of them now don't stay with you. You're in a Section 8 home on public assistance, and you won't get up to go get a job. But you're quick to criticize the woman who gets up every day, goes to work, brings home her money, contributes to the house, not only contribute to the house, has taught your child how to simply go to the bathroom, how to tie their shoe, how to read, how to write, how to spell their name, how to turn on the light, how to cook a piece of anything, how to pour a soda, how to say hello, hi, bye, thank you, no thank you, you're welcome, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Who has also taken the time to sit your child down, to discipline them when they know, when you have taught them, when this woman has taught them right from wrong, left from right, do from don't, and you got a nerve to get in your feelings about something and then make harmful accusations to this person's character. Baby, I need you to sit down and have several seats, because realistically, you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Compared to this woman, let's not do this. Again, I have seen this. Then when you start taking character shots, one thing for sure, two things for certain, karma is a bitch.
Oh, I believe it.
And she comes back with a bite.
My whole thing,
truth will come to light. So before you go out there speaking bitter baby mama, or excuse my French, or having bitter bitch syndrome.
But this is why I
respect the woman. And that's all I'm saying. Just respect and appreciate the good ones out here. There are so many good ones out here that are taking care of children they didn't birth and not taking away from the child's mother. That's the thing. Stop. Don't automatically assume that sister girl is over here taken away from you. That's why I say get to know that person. Like, if you have an issue with this woman to that extent, then be the mother. You go to the parent-teacher conference. You come do the science fair projects. You come do the homework. You come make sure they're disciplined when the argument happens. You don't call the father because the child is over there acting a fool and you can't control them. However, not only could you call the father, you can also call the woman or say, do I need to call so-and-so, and they straighten up and you get an attitude. Instead of being prideful and egotistical about that, look into self and say, well, why is it that my presence or me being here doesn't get that amount of respect? Why is it that when my child hears X person's name, they straighten up immediately? But if they hear my name, there's nothing. Baby, that's your fault. Don't blame that other woman for that. Don't try to make it seem like this woman is doing something abusive or but don't try to make the life harder for the person who's doing the job that you want, or who's doing the job with you. For those who try to hide under the umbrella of co-parenting, when you're not really trying to co-parent, you really just want to be in the mix so you can stir up some drama. Yeah, though they there too. Again, I'm so grateful that I have the relationship that I have with my baby boy's mama. We can talk. True co-parenting. Hey, girl, when I call him X, Y, and Z, girl, why you ain't call me? You know what? You right. Like simple things like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, sometimes what us women, and I say us, women don't understand, because I'm a woman. Sometimes you may end up having a better relationship with your baby father or your child's father when you deal with the woman. Because the woman, 9 times out of 10, can understand another woman's feelings, another woman's thoughts. So while you going at it at him and arguing with him and all of that, why not, if you have the relationship or the maturity, say, you know what, let me call the woman, and this is only if she's steady and has proven or shown to be the good woman. Now, there are some trash women out here too that won't take on that role and responsibility in its full capacity. I do understand that, and I'm not speaking to that if that's the case. If that's the case, do what you got to do as a mama. However, if that's not the case and this woman is a true and honest good woman, sometimes go around the daddy. If you know this is not your child's father's strong suit, don't talk to him about it. One, it's going to end up in an argument. You're going to end up more irritated than anything. Nothing's going to be resolved. And ultimately, you're going to put more pressure on you to do whatever it was that you feel that he was lacking or he didn't do. However, there's another person there who's a helping hand to you, or who can be a helping hand to you when he's not. Reach out to that person. Use your tools in your toolbox. Period. Stop looking at us. Women, we have to stop looking at each other as competition, as the enemy on the inside. That's not the case. It's not in most cases. It's not. And that's what we got to do better. As women, we have to do better with co-parenting. We have to do better with accepting the other parent has moved on. We have to do better with simple communication, whether it be from baby mama to baby daddy, or parent to parent, or step parent, or godparent to God. We have to do better with communicating. We have to do better with handling those situations, because ultimately the children are watching, the children are hearing, and the children are going to do what they've seen you do. If we want to end this cycle, this stupid generational curse, it takes someone to be mature enough to go, I'm not going to do that. Yes, and it's going to take a strong person. I'm not saying that person isn't going to get hurt. I'm not saying that there's going to be a point where sometimes you know what, you want to say, F it, I'm done. I'm going to match your energy. Trust me. I know. But then that's when that wise councilwoman come in and go, hey, which is why it's important to have your village to be of wisdom and not just feed into your feelings. And when I say your village, I mean your girl tribe. Your girl tribe to be able to tell you, wait a minute, hold on. But is that in the best interest of the child? And don't use the best interest of the child as a psychological weapon. Like, oh, I'm just trying to do what's right for my kid. Are you? If you're honest with yourself, are you really doing this for your kid, or are you doing this because you're upset and you're trying to prove a point? That humble pie, it ain't the best tasted all the time.
I'm gonna just say this. Yes, all of that, great. Me, I am not, my whole thing for this conversation as far as what it means to be a mother isn't even about the stepmother and this and the blended family and all of that. And Michelle can speak to that. That's great. I'm in and out of it, so yes and no. My thing about it is, I don't care if you're in a nuclear family. I don't care if you're a single mother. I don't care if you have a baby daddy or you have a husband. I don't care if you went to a clinic and did in vitro for yourself. If you went to a sperm bank, I don't care. My thing is, if you're going to call yourself a mother, then be that, sincerely. I think a lot of this stuff that we have with all this baby mom, baby daddy, women in competition and all that will go out the window if people really started marrying before they had kids. But I'm of a different place in generation mentally anyway, because again, I grew up nuclear. So to me, I don't understand why we can't just do that. I understand the people who have one child outside because life does happen, but these multiples, I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm not going to be able to empathize. I can understand, but I'm not gonna be able to empathize, sympathize with that, but too much. I'm not. Because you setting up the kids. You setting up the kids, in my opinion. Again, if the one kid, and there was a time in the 90s and in the early 2000s where people had one kid, y'all have a kid. Because it was like, I messed up and I learned. The man, yeah, I got like 3 kids and 3 baby mom. Like, your story better be lock, stock, and barrel type clad, makes sense to me. And let me tell you, and I speak this for anybody who's like, I mean, well, the boyfriend got 5 kids with 3 baby mamas, and his story and the reasons behind it, I could stand behind and understand and justify. Because please believe me, that if I could not, even if the smallest thing made no sense to me, and I was like, that's stupid, I'd have been we wouldn't be here, period. Because I don't. As somebody who grew up nuclear, who wanted nuclear, I'm not. The reason, let me be frank as well, for anybody like, well, you're not a mom. The reason I'm not a mother is by choice, people. I chose not to be a mother. I choose not to be a mother because I choose not to start the generational curse of a broken home, because I didn't come from it. Neither one of my parents came from it. My parents are divorced now, but they weren't divorced till I turned 20, 21, okay? So I'm not gonna bring a child up broken home. I didn't do it. My grandparents didn't live that life. Their parents didn't live that life. I come from a long line of nuclear families, and what I'm not going to do, even for the family where my grandmother, who's a little interesting, because her father had a whole family first, divorced, and then met my great grandmother to have my grandmother. Okay. But it was nuclear. They were married first. Now he had a whole nuclear family first, and this was family number 2. People did stuff back in them days, okay? But that's my thing. They got married and then had kids. That's my point. Marry first, so you know the person you're about to have this child with, because that is a lifetime commitment. It doesn't end when this kid hits 18. And I know so many guys out here, more than women, talk about, once kid hits 18, it doesn't matter, honey, because guess what? When your kid gets married at 27, guess who's going to be there? When your kid has a kid at 32, 37, 36, 84, guess who's going to be there? When your kid has major surgery on anything over the course of life, serious asthma attack, heart attack, pick a health issue, guess who's going to be there? The other parent. Hope. Let's hope. If you are a real mother, you're going to be there.
Okay. If you are a real father, real mothers, you're going to be there.
If you're a real father,
you're not going to say, okay, well, call me and keep me updated.
If you're a real parent, no matter what happens in the life of your child, you will be there. And what it means to be a mother, and I'm going to say this, and maybe it'll hold for somebody. What it means to be a mother is you must be sacrificial. You must be accountable and hold your children accountable. Be responsible and hold your children responsible. Teach them morals and teach them values, which means you need to have your own set of values and morals. I don't even necessarily have to agree with them, but teach your kids. You gotta have something. That's where I leave it. That's what it means to be a mother.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, cheers to that. So Siobhan.
So this wine though, this longevity. Okay. So this Chardonnay.
Now that our glasses are empty, let us know. What is your review on your wine?
I actually did like this as a Chardonnay. It has a nice, slightly nutty or oaky smell to it that I really enjoy. Yeah, I don't have any. I actually did like it. It's nice. It's crisp. It's plain. It's good. It makes some sense. I'm sorry, y'all, if y'all can hear Roman growling because he's in the cage and he just won't shut up right now because he's been loud and barky. And now the kids came home, so he heard the door and he wants to run out the cage. It's stuff.
He wants to be a dog.
He wants to be a dog and he's getting on my nerves. So if you hear him, I apologize. It's a dog baby. It's a fur baby. You can't really control fur babies like you can control real babies. They just extra. So this longevity Chardonnay, I did enjoy it. It was good, nice, crisp, plain. I don't know if it's like my favorite Chardonnay. I would have to have more. I don't really do Chardonnay. I'm more of a Pinot.
I was literally going to say that. I was like, I was thinking to myself, the fact that you enjoyed a Chardonnay is something that I never would have thought I would have ever heard, because
it's not a true dry. That's why.
Okay, I'm about to say, because a Chardonnay is a me drink.
But I wasn't gonna do a Merlot. So we are here in Chardonnay land. It's all gonna be dry, but it was gonna be dry white. Okay. Yeah, it's a semi-sweet to me, like at the start, and then you get the dry at the end, and it's like, oh yeah, you gotta bring it. It's like, bring it down, right, every time. So it's not. It wasn't bad. It was plain. My glass is empty. Yeah, I would give this a 3 because I can't. I'm jumping between a 3 and a 3.5 in my mind, but we can't do 3.25, so I'm gonna have to bring it down to a 3, just because Chardonnay is not really my thing. But if I were out and wanted a Chardonnay and the people actually happen to have longevity in their collection, I would get this. I like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. That's good. For my Sun Goddess Pinot Grigio, I did like it. I think you would like this. It's like they say, a true Pinot Grigio. It's earthy. I love the color. Like, the color of this is gorgeous. Like, it's pretty. It's classic. It is dry. Let's see, what do it say in the bag?
I do want to try Sun Goddess because it was recommended by where we normally go. Me and the boyfriend, our normal
It don't say much of that.
Recommended that, but they didn't have it.
This is really good. In actuality, how I found this, I went in looking for another wine, and I was like, oh my goodness. The one thing about Black wine or wines made by Black people is they're extremely hard to find in this area. So
they are
extremely hard. So it just so happened, I literally had made a U-turn to turn around to actually leave. And I just so had something said, look down. And I looked down and it caught my eye. And I was like, oh, yes, I could get it. Instead of the other brand that I wanted to get, which I'm going to go get this weekend to be prepared for next week. But I enjoyed this. I for a Pinot Grigio, I would definitely give this a 3. I feel like it might have been a little bit more better. That is not how you say that. A little bit better had it had more time to chill. Again, it wasn't that long. I had some other things going on. Rushing home, making sure, trying to get here on time. And then life happens as normal. So didn't really have a lot of time in the fridge. For whites, they normally say if you're going to drink a white wine, 30 minutes before whatever the event is, have it in the fridge. That way you take it out at the last minute. For your reds, you can have it in the fridge up until about 30 minutes to an hour before you're going to serve it. If it needs to decant, that'll be the time to decant. Just another fun fact, just in case you guys, I just thought about it. Wanted to know, when do I decant, when do I not? So reds, take them out about an hour before, let them decant. Whites, you don't have to let them decant. They can do that in the glass. So you take them out cold serve or put them in the refrigerator 30 minutes before you get ready to serve. And that's minimum. Not like it's exactly 30 minutes. No, it's minimum 30 minutes to get a good chill on them. But yes, I really did like it. I like the sleekness of this. I really do. The taste. To me, this just says classy. So I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 3. And that's what I got from that one. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have enjoyed your time with us as we spoke about motherhood, being a mother and what it means, and shared very few of our personal experiences and what it means to us to be a mother. Don't forget to like and describe. Like and subscribe. Share the podcast with a friend. Start a conversation. If you really adamant about something, or you completely agree or disagree, comment below. We love to hear from you. Sis, let's wine. We can wine together. Talk to us. We want to hear from the mamas. You know, they trying to reduce us to birthing people, which is insulting to us real mothers. But you know, we could talk about that too. Comment below, or go to our Instagram channel. We're up for conversation there. And that said a little something. The number 2, Wine About. Don't forget to catch us each and every Wednesday for another wonderful, wonderful episode. And as always,
there's nothing wrong with a little wine.